Hello there. As you can see, the format is a little bit different today. And the reason for that is that I am sitting in my car and I have actually I'm using a phone, and this is the only way I can have I don't have a tripod or anything like that. This is what I have to work with right now. So I'm sorry about that, but YouTube has been bragging a lot about how they now have a platform that will everything will be adjusted to the format. So if you do like this, it should be okay. If you of course I have to charge my phone. I'm using my phone, as I said, trying to balance everything. Yes. So of course, now let's see here. Oh, sorry. Wonder if this is better after all. No. This is not going to be my most viewed video. I do realize that. Let's see if this works at all. I really need to get some kind of tripod or something to hold this camera in the car. It will, if I lean over like this, maybe we're okay. And I think should be able to see the chat as well on the screen. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. Artelin says I'm trying to study here. I'm really sorry about that. This is just a middle-aged guy complaining about stuff, so not very interesting, I guess. But anyway, I have a few things to talk about today. So this is it's kind of a summary of what's going on in my life, and it's a Patreon only live stream. Good morning there. I am sorry about the format. I really have to get some kind of setup here in my car. Now I realize now you can actually see my lazy eye. I have a lazy eye. Hold on, this eye. Can you see that? If I concentrate, it's not that bad. But if I'm a little bit tired, it goes like this. So you can see it. Now I am actually outside of the school where my daughter will be studying from next year, autumn. So I think that's what you would call college, maybe. So she has 2 days actually on this school, on the college. We have a different system in Norway, but it's the equivalent of okay, it's the equivalent of college, and I was asked to come and pick her up. That's almost 1 hour from now on, so we have a lot of time. I'm in a very funny situation right now. I have spare time. I have actually lots of time, and it's not the best combination with when you think about the fact that my dog is, I don't know what to say. She's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. But it's a very gradual process, and she has several difficulties now. which really hurts me to watch. But then she kind of, you know, she shakes it off and she looks at me with her ears up. She has ears like this, but you know, they go up like this, and she's there, you know, she's not smiling, but you know, you can see it when dogs are, at least she's not in pain. And she you know, she has moments when she's happy, and so we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But me being the way I am, it's like a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. And it's hard. I've been through this before, and this is the last time. I can't go through this again. I am not very fit for this. It's not for me, and I should have learned, but that's the way it is. So yeah, thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. So since I have a lot of spare time now, I get to do a lot of thinking, which isn't the best. I tend to overthink things. And yesterday I realized I had seen almost nothing else than my garden and the woods and the inside of my house for a week. And you get a bit crazy, you know, you get a bit depressed when you don't meet anyone, except, you know, your own family. I wouldn't complain if I lived out in the woods. That would be okay, but that's different. So I need to get out more. That's quite important, actually. And it's a very surreal experience right now, because this morning I was sent 3 written agreements from my agent. I'm not able to, because there is a confidentiality here, so I'm not able to tell you what they were about, but it's, well, I can say it's you know, it's about my books, and it involves, you know, it affects my income in a very positive way. And it's like I'm sitting there and reading through these agreements in isolation back home, and it's so surreal, because my world is right now very tiny. It's very tiny, and I'm signing papers where I know signing this means that my novels will go out to tens of thousands, even more tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 people. And it's surreal. So at least now I've been out, been driving around a little bit. I've been looking, I finally decided on a car, which car I'm going to buy, and it's not the most exciting choice. It's not. But I found a car. It's a SUV car like the one I have. It doesn't have the center console, you know, to the right where you sit. Yes, Artelin, you're correct. Correct about that. Right now I'm not going to talk more about it. Yeah, so I was looking at cars, and I've been looking at many cars, and luckily the car I have now found, which seems to be exactly what I need, is not the most expensive car. It's actually quite the price is reasonable. No need to apologize. No need to apologize. But I'm just saying, I'll talk a little bit about that, actually. I'll open up a little bit. They say it's very wise to do that. And I'll tell you something that I haven't told many people. But first, car. It's an SUV. It's a Mitsubishi Outlander, so it's not the most exciting car. Many people have that car. It's going to be a hybrid, electric hybrid thing. But I could sit comfortably. It doesn't have a high central console. It's wide enough for me, and I could sit there in comfort. And the good thing about it is I can fit it in my garage. Hi there, Kelly. Glad to see you here. So I can fit the whole car in my garage. I only have about 3 centimeters or 1 inch of clearing between the car and the garage, the door. But the point is, with a little bit of practice, I can fit the car in my garage. And when you lay down the back seats, there's just enough space there for me to stretch out and sleep. That's actually a very big advantage. I have been, as a novelist, I'm often asked to do a reading somewhere, and it's always in the evenings, and I drive back because I hate staying at hotels, so if I can avoid that, I will rather drive. But there have been more times that I like to think of where I have fallen asleep behind the steering wheel. Not for long, just it's like this for a second. It's very scary and dangerous. So if I could, and I pull over, I try to sleep in the seat, but I know the only safe option is to lie down and just sleep for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 hours. That's the only safe option. And in that car, I can actually do that, and it will even save me some money because I can travel further without having to stay at hotels. I could use the car as kind of a camper. I can sleep in the car and I can have a campfire outside, and it's going to be wonderful. I'm really looking forward to that. And again, it's not the coolest car. It's not a Jeep. It's not a Land Rover Defender. I really wanted that Land Rover Defender. But for one thing is it's too long for my garage, and it's more than double the price of this Mitsubishi. So maybe you're not that interested in cars, but I just wanted to tell you that I like to keep my mind busy with things. So yeah. Okay, without any further, this is a Patreon only live stream, so I would just want to say that I'm going to talk a little bit about things you do not know, because not many people know this. Maybe you have guessed already. There is a need for me to say this, and it will, I think, feel better afterwards. I'm not saying this because I think it will be a miracle cure or anything like that, but it's and it's something that actually, yeah. Now I'm struggling, and I have for my entire life been struggling with several mental challenges. Not mental challenges, but psychological, maybe. Things I've been struggling with a lot has been depression. I've been very depressed for extended periods of time. I have been diagnosed, but I don't really believe in those diagnoses. But I was diagnosed with manic depression, and that's almost like it's fashionable to say that for some people, but it's something I don't wish for anyone to have. The highs are very high and the lows are very low, and you get, sometimes you behave in an irresponsible way, which I have, but I'm glad to say that I have not ever done anything illegal. I have not been, you have the people who suffer from this and they take drugs and all that. That's not me. I've never been like that, but it's been expressed in other ways, and I have physical, some of my injuries are because my physical injuries, they are because of that. It's a bit hard to explain, but there was a time when I could partly enter that stage on purpose, and partly I would just enter that state anyway, before competition. And I used to be a powerlifter, and I would pull whatever weight I needed to pull to win. I didn't always win, but I would pull until I bled out of my eyes and the skin was torn from my hands. I'm not kidding now. And that was not healthy, at all. But the feeling after you do that was almost like, I can imagine maybe people who take those drugs, maybe they feel like I felt after I did that. And it's been expressed in other ways as well, which stupid things, fights, drunken fights, things like that, when I was a lot younger. So it's very typical, actually. You get into those, you like taking those risks, and you don't really understand, you can't relate to the risk. Yeah. So I stopped doing that. I stopped behaving like that. Not ready to talk about why I stopped, but I found actually a way to manage all of this, and that's working a lot. And I can't. Yeah, you're right, Artelin. You're right. And at the moment, I know I use work as a way to get around and to suppress that those demons, if you will. And I like writing, but I can't. I'm very bad at doing nothing. It takes a few hours only, and then I get depressed if I don't do anything. So the YouTube channel started as a hobby, and it quickly became something more. I still call it a hobby, but it became something more. It became, I need to give myself those tasks and be busy. I really enjoy making videos, so that's probably the healthiest a kind of therapy, if you will, that I can have, but I cannot. I know I'm not better, so I can't. I need to have rules. I need to have things to do. I need to have. I can't just sit down. That's not healthy for me. So, yeah. But the worst thing, and one thing I haven't managed to deal with yet, is the depression, and it gets bad. It's bad now, and it's going to last until my dog is not here anymore. That's just the way it is. I know that's just the way it is. So it's a bit difficult at the moment. If you don't see me uploading videos on the main channel or this channel for a few weeks, you know what has happened and you know why. And I promise I will be back. But yeah, that's just the way it is. I think stoicism has helped me a lot. I manage the depression better. I manage especially anxiety much better with stoicism. But it's not fail-proof. It's not fail-proof. So yeah. But it helps me stay at least at a level where I can function as a father, and that's actually what's most important for me. Yeah. So not hi there, Perry. Perry, yes. We will always be here to chat. It's something I value extremely much. It's extremely valuable to me. And I know I'm not so good at paying back because it's a bit difficult to reach me. I get so many messages and emails and stuff. So I'm sorry about that. But I can tell you, I promise I'm not going to stop making YouTube videos. I will continue making the videos on the main channel. I will continue making these videos as well. I think the social aspect of this is what matters most to me now. Thank you, Perry. Thank you. You know, I am very glad to see that my kids, they don't seem to have this, and they are at the age now where it should be, we should have seen it already. I know when this manifested itself in me quite very early, and I'm kind of glad that I grew up in the 70s and early 80s, because some of the things I did was the kind of things, if kids do that now, if boys do that now, they pump them full of chemicals. And I don't think I was ever... Good morning, Chris. Good morning. Good to see you here. So I don't think I was ever bad I was not bad. I was not mean to anyone. On the contrary, I would say I was bullied a lot, like, you know, every day, and I was bullied when I was little, and I responded with violence, to be honest. And after that, after I did that, I beat up the guy who bullied me the worst. There's no way around it. That was what I did. And it's like, I'm never going to say it didn't help, because it did help. It got a little bit better. But they still continued to, I was not included in anything social. I guess many reasons for that maybe, but was not included. And that lasted until the first 9 years in school. That's at least the way I can remember it. Yeah. But I guess today they would have medicated someone like me. And I remember once I punched through a glass, door, and yeah, things like that, you know. We should be a little bit careful when it comes to medicating kids, I guess. We should, not. People are different. People are different. And different sometimes means some people are not as easy to like as other people. So, yeah. I just heard a very nice sound. My dog is in the back of the car, and she's dreaming. And she's kicking with her legs while she's dreaming. Perry, I did not grow up in a tough neighborhood at all. Not at all, no. So I have deep respect for you. Artedin, well, thanks. Yeah, I hope you're right. You wrote that they wouldn't jump straight to medication. So I think in my case it would have ended with medication, because later in my life I don't go to, I wouldn't, I'm very careful before I go to anyone. I don't go to anyone with this, I don't, because the times I have done that in the past, they have wanted me to take pills, which would destroy my creative abilities. There's no way around that, and it would destroy my livelihood. So that's, I'm not going to take any pills. So there it is. Now I said it. It's not something that makes me unique. It doesn't make me a hero. It doesn't make me special. Lots of people have these issues. I think, yeah, our ancestors didn't take pills. It's not the way. I know. For some, I think, I'm not saying nobody should take pills, of course, and I know you didn't mean to say that, but But in my case, sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. I wish I had been aware of this earlier, because then I would have. I think I was aware of this, but I didn't want to accept it. If I had accepted it earlier, I would have kept myself out of situations where I know I will get in trouble. So, yeah. But everything is much better now. Everything is much better now. It has gotten, except the depression part, it has gotten a little bit better as I've gotten older. So yeah. But okay. Birgitta and Mike, hello there. I'm sorry about rubbish video quality. That's very good advice, Artelin. That's very good advice. I'm not going to read all the chats here. It's possible to scroll up and see the chats after the live stream. So glad to hear that, Chris. It helped. Glad to hear that. I am happy out in the woods. Maybe you have noticed that. I'm happy out in the woods. And lately I have actually found another place where I am happy. And I never thought I would say this, but it's in the publishing house in Norway. And, you know, some would say, oh, it's because they're nice to you. Well, they are nice to me. They're very nice to me. They're all nice people. And then I must admit, there have been times when to start with, I think I thought, well, they're nice to me because my books sell so well, you know, that's why they're nice to me. And I realized that's not why. They are just nice people. And sometimes you will find companies that manage to cultivate a culture. They manage to create a culture of warmth and being nice to people. And that's my experience with the Norwegian publishing house. Yes, nature seems to help. Nature helps a lot. Now because of the hunting, and I think actually they know who I am, and they know, you know, that's the guy who wants to destroy our hunt. And I don't feel safe up there now. And that means I have to drive now for a little while. So it's a bit more difficult now to get to out in the woods. And that will last until Christmas. I wish it was not like that. But I can't just step out of my garden and walk into the woods anymore like I used to. It will be better at Christmas when the hunting season is over. So yeah. So I'm trying to, you know, I'll have to start a car. It's getting cold. My car is a 2006 model. Oops, sorry about that. Kelly, yes, unfortunately the creative mind tends to depression. They feel everything so much more deeply. You know what happened this morning? And this happens almost never. I cried because of what I had been writing and what I'm writing now. I cried because it's so close. It's so close. And of course there's a lot of pressure, so everything adds up, but I've said that I'm never going to end this the Viking series. I'm never going to end it. I'm going to write on these books as long as I live. So there will be a lot of books, but I think the main reason for that is that I can't get myself to say farewell and goodbye to these characters. I have finished other books and trilogies and book series before, and it's been painful every time, very painful. So now I'm thinking, the material, the last decades of the Viking Age, it's so vast, that material, it's so vast, and I'll just keep writing. It's why would I want to end it? I'll just keep writing. So that's my plan. My publishers like that plan. Okay, so again, it was good to say this. I'm in doubt of whether I'm going to add. No, I'll hold the camera. I'm a little bit in doubt on whether I should add this, but I think I will. My parents are not really that understanding when it comes to these issues. Let me illustrate. Alistair, good morning. Hi there. Good to see you. When I was diagnosed with manic depression, I was also told that I should be open about this. So I called my father and I told him. And he said, well, I had a flu last week. Those were his words. Now, I don't know, maybe he didn't want to relate to it, or maybe, I don't know, but I chose not to speak with my parents about this because they, maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe it's a generational thing, maybe it's, I don't know what it is. They're not bad people, they're good people. But this they can't relate to. And yeah. And I don't want people to go around, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, poor, you're so, I don't want anything like that. I don't want anyone to anyone to pity me, that's the word. But at least it would have been nice if close family could relate to this. So my kids don't know, and they don't have to know, because they are kids, you know. Yeah, Chris writes, I can't speak with my parents either. I think it might be somewhat generational. Now, my parents, they are very much enthusiastic about the fact that they're seeing my books everywhere. And I'm trying to, and they will also say things like, well, you have to, you know, take them off. And they don't seem to realize the hours that go into writing a book. You know, I don't know. Yeah. Alistair writes, mental health is stigmatized in a lot of the Western world. There is no reason why people should view mental health differently from physical condition, but they do. Very well said. Thank you. It's, you know, physically I'm lucky. I don't have, I'm, you know, knock wood and all that. I'm getting older, but apart from, you know, injuries from training, I think I'm fit, healthy and strong. I don't get sick very often. I get the man flu like once or twice a year, you know, and it's horrible. It is. But apart from that, you know, compared to other people, you know, they might have heart issues, they might have different issues, and I have the mental ones, right? I can't, for instance, I can't drink alcohol. No, I don't miss that, but I know if I drink alcohol, I increase the chance of me behaving in a very irresponsible way, you know, the kind of way that makes you wake up in a different country. No, it's not that bad, but Alistair says, in my work I see a lot of people with mental health issues, particularly at crisis times, and there's just not the support out there there should be. I agree. Yes. Now I reach a lot of people with my main channel. So I've been thinking about a way to try to help people who struggle with this. I haven't found the right way yet, but it's almost certainly, it's certain. It's something I'm going to talk about. Because if I can help just one person for one day, even only for one day, it's worth it. But I haven't found the right way to do it. I'm looking into it. I am. So yeah, I struggle as well with headaches. I had a neck fracture in a car accident when I was young, So I've had a migraine since, on and off, and I have a migraine now. And then my eyelid drops here. I can do like this, and it will just stay there. I'll tell you as well what I worked as, and I got to a stage in my career, writing career, where I thought, I'm never going to make it as a novelist. I am just never going to make it. So I thought, okay, I will take a part-time education. And I need to do it quickly, because I had no money, except the money that would go into the education. And I took, now in Norway, this will be different from country to country, you know. Hypnotherapy. I'm a hypnotist. You didn't know that? I guess it's true. I am a qualified hypnotist with a diploma and everything. It's quite, you know, it's not what you see on TV. It's not what, you know, the show hypnosis, which is just rubbish. It has nothing to do with that. I might actually talk about that, make a video about that, but I got to help people, and I also have a part-time education in, I'm a personal trainer actually, and so I have an education in training and nutrition. So that combination enabled me to help people with, you know, who would typically come and talk about and say that I want you to hypnotize me so that I will lose weight. You can't do that, you know. But it's almost always the overeating. It's always, it has to do with deeper issues, you know. So and then you say those words that you always have to say. You say, have you reached out to traditional medicine, you know, and you should do that before we move on with this, and all that, you know. So yeah, so that's what I did, and it enabled me to keep writing in the early hours and work as a hypnotherapist the rest of the day. And what happened after that, after having had a active practice in for 2.5 years, I think what happened was that money happened. Okay, not the Viking series money, but I got involved in films, filmmaking, and yeah, so I stopped the hypnotherapy practice and went back to working full time as a writer. Yeah, okay, that was that story there. To answer Jonas's question, did you work as a psychologist before? Yeah. So now you know. No comments, I guess. Maybe that story was boring. Yeah. Apart from that, I've had no other jobs than my job as a novelist. Okay. Oh, okay, Perry. Yes, just nice to listen sometimes. Yes, thank you. Part of the education was mastering techniques to, you know, get through the day, basically, which helps me. I would have been in a much worse place if I didn't have those techniques. But it's, you know, it's not fail proof, and it's not magic. It's not, you can't make people think that they're chicken and stuff like that. That's just that's just not how it works. Okay, my daughter will be here any minute now, and I'm excited to hear how her day has been. New school, you know, so they've been with Perry says, I find trying to learn another language helps me out. That's a very good advice. Maybe I'll look into that. Yeah, my daughter will be finished now in just a couple of minutes on this school here, and as I said previously in this live stream, she has a one day here and one day this week and one day next week, and they're at this, you would I guess call it college, and it's to make them better suited to take the right choice, because they have to choose which direction they want to go with. If they want to go with, you know, what you call math and chemistry and physics and stuff, and you have the social science, not the social science, but economics, social economics, for instance, and there are different paths they can choose now. So yeah, so that's why she's here today, and I'm excited to hear how her day has been. She's very fortunate because her grades are so exceptional that she can choose any school, any college she wants. So, but that makes it harder, you know. That actually makes it harder to choose. If you don't have any choices, then it's very easy. But she can choose and pick and choose whichever school she wants. And they're all local, so I'm very glad that they are, because I don't good upbringing, good genes. Well, I don't know. I don't know. As I said, I'm very glad that my kids, they don't seem to have any of those issues I talked about that I have. So it's what you want to think is that those problematic parts get kind of washed out of the genetic pool, in a way. Is that the word? So yeah, and she's already much smarter than me, so you know, that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Yes. You know what? I'm going to get myself a fastening device for the camera in the car, and yeah, that's what I'm going to get. Not the I bought one and fell down, didn't work at all. So Yes, okay. Thanks to everyone who joined this live stream. Thanks for all your comments. You got me through an hour. I want to thank you for that. Okay. Thank you, Chris. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.